In April 2025, Time magazine included Gisèle Pelicot, age 72, as an icon in their 100 most influential people of 2025. Why? Because Pelicot is a feminist symbol of bravery, perseverance, allyship, and resilience. In 2024, in a French courthouse, she faced her husband of 50 years and over 4 dozen men aged in their 20s to their 70s between 2011 to 2020 for 9 years. Pelicot's husband recruited these men online, would drug his wife, and invite each man, a stranger, into their home to rape her. Evidence of the case against her husband and the men include the photos and videos her husband took of his unconscious wife, a mother and grandmother, being violated. Giselle's husband's defense lawyer, a woman. And this is elemental in the feminist struggle, women defending bad men. We see this in modern day all the time. Female defense lawyers for inhumane men who have harmed and destroyed women. Girls coming to the defense of a male classmate or college mate charged with sexually assaulting a fellow female. Women with celebrity status rallying behind immoral, incompetent, and dangerous males. And cable news hosts and social media influencers decrying the ills of feminism while securing the pedestal of the misogynists who literally want to own women. So how does the French court case reflect the Medusa myth? The answer is Athena. Mythology is a powerful construct in society since it is reflective of a culture's ethos, its character. Myth provides a way of knowing, a way of understanding culture and society, what shapes us as humans. The classics of Greco-Roman myth are rife with male gods and demigods of omnipotence, with Athena primarily depicted as an arm of masculine justice, a masculine goddess as an extension of the triumvirate brotherly gods of Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. Let me provide a quick backstory of Athena's origin. In the Theogony, a poem attributed to the Greek mythmaker Hesiod, we are informed that Zeus, in an aggressive act, opens his mouth and swallows his pregnant wife Medusa. It is Zeus who births Athena from his own head. She is born a fully formed, virginal warrior goddess of wisdom. Athena, whose father is Zeus, is also the niece of the sea god Poseidon and niece of Hades, ruler of the underworld. Athena is a physical and philosophical extension of male might, what I refer to as the Athena paradox. Okay. On one hand, Athena is a powerful female goddess. Love this. But on the other hand, she acts as an agent of misogyny since she is inherently an extension of male power. Athena's allegiance and obedience is to the patriarchal power structure, and that allegiance is reflected in the Medusa myth. For over 2,000 years, male supremacy has been normalized and reinforced with mythical narratives, symbolizing a collective consciousness, a universality of thought and action, that male power, power over women, and male privilege is paramount. As I noted in my Medusa Scholar video, Medusa, one of 3 Gorgonian sisters, was born mortal. As a beautiful young maiden, she caught the eye of Poseidon, a powerful male god of the sea, who, depending on the given male mythmaker's version, partook in a sexual act that was consensual with Medusa or an act of sexual violence against her that occurred in a sacred temple. That temple honoring the powerful female goddess Athena. All right. For the Greek scholar Apollodorus, in his story, The Beauty of Medusa, he adds a narrative twist. Medusa is beautiful, but she's vain. She flaunts her attractiveness, which angers Athena. Is flaunting one's beauty such a transgressive act as to warrant such wrath? What is a woman to do when she feels rivalry toward another woman? Well, according to this male mythographer, practice hostility. The virginal goddess is complicit when, according to Apollodorus, Athena physically guides Perseus's hand to behead her. Classicist Mary Beard refers to ancient works such as these as wellsprings of Western misogyny. Athena acts as a misogynistic operating device of blame and punishment, a female character who assists the patriarchy, dutiful to patriarchal ideals. The ancient myth exemplifies a cultural narrative that Kate Mann, feminist, philosopher, professor, and author of Down Girl, The Logic of Misogyny, refers to as encompassing, valorizing patriarchal portrayals. For Poseidon, Athena's uncle, no consequence. As a man in a position of power, as an ideological function of the patriarchy, it's as if it's his godly imperative to assault women. You know, boys will be boys. Athena safeguards the male-centric oikos, the city-state. It's as if Athena's wrath against Medusa, the punishment against her, is justified, further symbolizing the cultural complicity of violence against women. Although a powerful goddess, Athena's fidelity is to Poseidon, his divine male stature. There is no female solidarity with Medusa, a victim. As I also noted in my video on feminist revisionist myth, the patriarchy protects predators. Athena's acquiescence to Poseidon raping Medusa is a potent metaphor of female dutifulness to male power. In the seminal text, The Creation of Patriarchy, historian Gerda Lerner informs us that the victims of rape are guilty. They are dishonored by being dishonorable. For male mythographers, Medusa is anathema to a patriarchal feminine ideal of virtue. Once the epitome of beauty, Medusa's perceived immoral behavior subjects her to punishment. The virginal goddess of war and wisdom, dutiful to patriarchal ideals, is emblematic of female indoctrination to male deference. Transforming Medusa into the snaky-haired monster is a performative act of propping up the patriarchy. When we think about women in positions of power and privilege, past and present, the allure of being a handmaiden to the patriarchy is confounding. So when it comes to Athena, do we hate the player or do we hate the game? That game being the patriarchy. Why does Athena acquiesce to male power? Why do modern Athenas do the same? Kate Mann provides a methodological framework to help us understand the dynamics of patriarchy, misogyny, and sexism. Patriarchy is the overarching and dominant ethos we live by. Think of it as the cultural umbrella of It's a Man's World. Propping up the patriarchy are the supportive conceptual pillars of misogyny, representing societal systems or mechanisms that enforce and uphold patriarchal norms and expectations. And then there's sexism, grounded in prejudicial and stereotypical ideals, justify and rationalize a patriarchal order and ideology. We could think of it as sexism as the mental models we are culturally conditioned with, and misogyny as the act, the enforcer. Kate Mann informs us that misogyny is not about male hostility or hatred toward women. It's about controlling, penalizing, and punishing women who challenge the patriarchal order, those who do not adhere to the patriarchal script. It is misogyny that rewards women who reinforce the status quo of the patriarchy and punishes those who don't.